Purple cards introduce a mechanic called distortion. When a character receives distortion, it accumulates until it is either converted into damage by theta shift or theta cut, or the character resets and removes it all. So there is an extra step to deal damage with the distortion, but cards that give distortion tend to give considerably more for their AP cost than a card that just dealt damage would deal damage. And it ignores shield points, which is pretty handy. Many purple cards also incorporate coin flipping, which adds a lot of randomness to your deck. The purple Strider, Moth Knight Lepida, is the last knight loyal to the deranged Moth Queen. Lepida can use his ability as many times as you can afford on your turn. His ability is to make a melee attack that deals 2 distortion and doesn't trigger traps. Using this ability can deal up to 8 distortion in one turn, without needing to play any cards. With the first artifact, Morpheus Rapiers, your melee attacks deal as much distortion as they do damage. If you just play a normal melee attack deck, and just occasionally play theta shift or theta cut, you can effectively double your damage with the right timing. The second artifact, the Fool's Dollar, makes you have to flip a coin before you make any attack, either doubling the attack's damage on heads or nullifying it on tails. This adds a huge element of randomness, but it can be swung in your favour with cards such as Precognition and Destiny Shift. The third artifact, Morpheus Cowl, gives you 2 AP whenever you flip a coin that lands on tails. All cards that require a coin flip have a positive result on heads, but flipping tails isn't so bad when you have Morpheus Cowl. Indulge Delusions, Crazy Blade, Singing Saber, Madman Cut, Lunatic Cut, and Insanity Needle are all the purple cards that require you flip coins. There are cards from other colours that involve coin flips as well. When you flip a coin for Enlightenment, you do not gain AP, as that flip is triggered once your turn is already over. If you want to know more about Enlightenment, check out the white card video coming up. Alakino, the first purple character, also makes flipping tails less of a bad option. When Alakino plays a card that requires you flip a coin, and the coin lands on tails, you return that card to your hand, and if it would deal damage to Alakino, it doesn't. The second character, Moth Shaman Acheron, stops your opponent from clearing their distortion by resetting, letting you set up potentially massive damage without risking it being wiped out by a reset. The third character, Shrieking Lava, is cheap and frail, but can accumulate a lot of distortion. Whenever you discard a card, everything takes 1 distortion. A handy use of this can be to clear tokens in conjunction with Theta Shift, gain shield points in conjunction with Emotional Barrier, or just straight up deal damage with Theta Cut or Theta Shift. There are plenty of other purple cards that can provide distortion. Brain Maggot is a poison that does so. Eldritch Sermon, Mirrored Blade, Swift Strikes, Nightmare Claw, and Psychic Thread, Remembrance, and Theta Riposte all do too. Theta Phase turns all damage into distortion for a turn, and all distortion into damage, thus letting any of the aforementioned cards deal direct, cheap damage. Insomnia is a poison you may apply to yourself to gain extra AP but suffer distortion. Having distortion on yourself isn't entirely negative, as you can convert it into shield points with Emotional Barrier. Intangible Kingdom lets you play purple cards at a lower cost, but you can't deal any damage for the rest of your turn. Theta Echo lets you return the last purple card you played to your hand, which can lengthen combos. Lastly, Visions of Infinite Color lets you play a card for free after you reset, again adding to the potential randomness of your deck. So purple's got a lot of interesting things going for it, with distortion and elements of randomness. If either of these interest you, you could purchase a Strider pack including Lepida, Morpheus Rapiers, and 9 other cards for only $10. You can also purchase Amethyst packs, which comprise of 10 random purple cards for $6. Or you can get a Strider pack plus 3 Amethyst packs for only $25. All of this and more can be found at www.tatzelworms.com, and if you have any questions, don't be afraid to comment below. Thanks for watching.